Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's talk about Biola. You remember Abiola Adebayo? We covered that story. Not to, as a matter of fact, that was we covered that story, and I did a collaboration. Speaking of collaborations, I did a collaboration with Uncle Beno last Friday. We're on a live stream for almost 7 hours, I think. You know, Abiola Adebayo is she's a podcast host now. She's a philanthropist, but she's most popularly known as an actress. And some few days ago, she announced that her marriage of just 3 years was ending. She's a 43-year-old lady, you know. But there's a lot of talk around that about the surrogacy, if you remember, and you know, people dragged it for a while. All the while, most of the shows that I've seen, people said we don't know what happened. To be fair to anybody that's been covering this, I've seen people say we don't know what happened, except one person, one auntie that came to drag her, saying that she doesn't have a womb, she doesn't have eggs, or all that kind of crazy talk, right? But then Abiola Adebayo has come back to the scene to come and tell us what happened. You can look at, okay, this was posted on Kenny's 104 FM. It says, Nollywood actress Abiola Adebayo has responded to criticism and mockery she received online following the public announcement of her failed marriage. Let's listen.
I'll
translate.
The other one that I said about my marriage, I just don't want people to say my story for me. That was why I came out to say, and that is my style. I will come out to say it. That was why I came, because people were already asking me, you are not posting your husband, you are not posting oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló máa jáde ló jẹ́ kí n sọ mi ò bá má sọ kankan against mi náà ni. Even before I posted, I've actually told my husband before that time, so he was aware that we posted so that other people will not tell the story. So it was not supposed to be very new. For every other thing that came after it, to God be all the glory. He was aware that I would post. He knew about it. It was not to tarnish his image or to do anything. I can't even do that. Shebi is my husband, the father of my child. No, I've never. He knows, he himself knows that I'm not what they say I am. But God knows everybody. Ọlọ́run ló mọ ọkàn ẹ gbogbo wa. Àmọ́ mo mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run wà o. Ọlọ́run tó rí inú tó ròde tó mọ everybody. Ó máa san fún oníkálùkù gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ẹ̀. Kó san mí lẹ́san. Gbogbo ìwà tí mo wù pátápátá kó fi san mí lẹ́san. I will not say more than that.
Hey, Chidima, happy Friday to you.
If I'm able to do, eba mi gba, tí mi ò bá lè ṣe mi ò lágbára ni ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má kà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fún mi. Ẹ má wá torí ẹ kẹ́ máa lọ sórí different pages, kẹ́ máa wá lọ sọ̀rọ̀ aburú nípa mi. Ọlọ́run á dá fún yín o. Mi ò gbẹ́kẹ̀lé nǹkan kan, Ọlọ́run nìkan ni mo mọ̀. Ọlọ́run á dá fún yín o.
I'll do translation, don't worry. I'll do translation. Oh my God.
We go explain because no evidence.
No evidence, so no evidence. We can do translation. Okay. She said I'm a person. I'm gonna do translation one by one now. Okay.
The other one that I said about,
she says she's a human being. She's just basically protecting her own situation, right?
My marriage, I just don't want people to say my story for me. That was why I came out to say, and that is my style. I will come out to say.
Now, the fact that she didn't want people to tell her story, she needs to start to realize. See, a lot of us struggle with this type of stuff, right? I think Abiola might be struggling with confidence too, when it comes to her personal life. A lot of us struggle with that. And to be honest with you, I acquired a new, as you say, an additional definition of confidence today. And I think it was Esther. Her name is Esther Perel. If you know Esther Perel, she's a clinical psychologist. She said confidence is knowing that you have flaws, right? Knowing that you have flaws, but still seeing yourself in high regards. Or more. That one is strong. Knowing that you have flaws, but still seeing yourself in high regards. I think Biola is struggling with that when it comes to her personal life, you know. Let's continue.
kí tó wá sọ nǹkan tí ò ṣẹlẹ̀ àbí kí n tó wá máa gbọ́ nǹkan tó máa bà mí nú jẹ́ mi ò mọ̀ pé ẹ tún máa padà fi bà mí nú jẹ́ ni.
She said she didn't know that she just didn't want people to tell her story, so she wanted to say her story so that stuff will not come back to her to mess with her again. You know, I can understand. It's easier said than done. You know, when you have insecurities about certain areas of your life, it's easier said than done that you just always be this macho person that you always figure it out. It's not always true. Sometimes in certain areas of our life we all struggle. I understand it, but in this area here she needs to work on it because she needs to realize that she's a superstar. She needs to realize that she's a rock star. This idea of doing shalaye of every little aspect of your life is not going to work. It will never work. Somebody send her the message. It will never ever work.
That was why I came, because people were already asking me, you are not posting your husband, you are not posting.
Let me shock you. People have, guess what? People have the right. People have the right to ask you, why didn't you post your husband? Why? Because you have a public lifestyle. Guess what else you have the right to do? Disregard them. You have the right, especially if you're okay with being a human being with flaws. But we see you in high regards as a Dr. Abiola Adebayo. You need to see yourself in that light. Sometimes a little bit of injection of arrogance, when you know, say you don't owe anybody any explanation.
Explain, because no evidence.
It's necessary. It's necessary. And somebody needs to please help me get this message across to her and anybody who is struggling with this. She said I shouldn't have said anything. It's not about not saying anything.
And even before
she said it was used against her. No, it's not. They're celebrating you. It's called celebrity for a reason. They're celebrating you in weird, twisted ways. I know they're supposed to celebrate you in a way that you like as a human being. Well, you are now a superhuman. I know, but you don't act in your personal life. Don't act like a superhuman, because that one will not work too. But you need to understand that people see you as a superhuman, and in this public, especially in this social media era, yes, seemingly it might seem like they use it against you. And I all the people that spoke positively about Abiola Adebayo, I bet she did not see any one of those. It's all the negatives that she probably engaged, and she probably cried overnight a couple of times because she was like, why is my life like this? Well, all of us behave that way, but with self-confidence, with self-intelligence, with emotional intelligence, stop. You don't have to yield to that. You don't. You can still celebrate the fact that you're being celebrated, but disregard everything else. Honestly, nothing else will work. When it comes to your mental health, especially as a celebrity, as a superstar, nothing will work. See, all of us, I'm saying this to us now because all of us are superstars in our own right, right? In your own area of life, there's some things you can control, some things you can't control. Don't try to control the things you cannot control. It's not going to work. But there's a reason why you can't control it, because you actually don't need to control it. But yeah. Chinye, welcome. Chinye say, snap fingers to that definition. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Let me play more.
Posted. I've actually told my husband before that time. So he was aware that we posted so that other people will not tell the story.
All right. So she's doing shalaye that husband was aware. That's not the point. On a person's birthday, you don't really want to announce the worst thing that can happen, that could have happened to him. Okay, so I'm not buying into he was aware that you posted exactly that way. No, I'm not buying into it. Honestly, it doesn't matter, Biola. That's the point. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I buy into it or not. I want you to get to a point where it doesn't matter what I think. Okay, and it's okay to make mistakes too. Shocker, right? It's okay to make mistakes.
He shock you.
So if you mistakenly posted that and you didn't think, because an average person might not have thought about it that deep, like maybe it won't be right for me to post that we're divorced, the announcement on his birthday, because he might not tell you exactly how it feels, because it's also trying to protect your feelings. But now you now learn after, it's okay to make mistakes. That's the best way to handle mistakes. Make it okay to make mistakes so that you can actually learn from it. So I'm not buying into it. I'm not buying into it,
So it was not supposed to be very new. For every other thing that came outside, to God be all the glory. It was
God be the glory.
that would post. He knew about it. It was not so.
So what about the auntie, the elder sister of that chose that day to start dragging you, even though she seemed like to have been your supporter for the longest? Shalaye, it's not Shalaye. It's not harding up.
We go explain because no evidence.
To tarnish his image or to do anything. I can't even do that.
See, we know that wasn't your intentions. We can see it. We can see through. You can see through your spirit. That wasn't the intentions. But intentions are overrated. You have to think. You have to think. Critical thinking. You have to think deeper than intentions. Good intentions are great. They're nice. They're cute. But it's not enough. Okay. You have to think about the impact, long-term impact of certain decisions you might make, short-term from a place of good intentions. So good intentions is often overrated. I know that you didn't intend to hurt him. I know. But that's not the lesson.
Shebi is my husband, the father of my child.
Wait, it's your husband? What you remember, you forgot so soon that what you announced. See, this announcement is also coming from a place of emotions all over again. Abiola, hire a PR so that you can make statements. You're a superstar. You just have the PR write the statement. You read it through, you say it's nice, okay, good. Just post it out. Let's get back to work. Let's keep saving people. Because nobody's life is perfect at the end of the day.
No, I've never. He himself knows that I'm not what they say.
That you didn't mean to.
I am. But God knows everybody.
She said there is God. She said there is God. She said God should pay me. God should reward me. God should make me reap what I sow. Oh God.
Explain because no evidence.
Yeah.
I will not say more than that.
All of us misbehave sometimes. Be careful what prayer you pray to yourself. The angels can be flying around. They say, let me make this one a scapegoat. Are you perfect? Nobody is perfect now.
If I'm able to do,
okay, now she's talking about charity work. She's doing great work when it comes to charity. Oku Kidola, did you follow the story? Talk to me. What do you think so far? Let me come into the chat. Chinye. How's your day going, Chinye? Chinye said, I'm not sure why she chose that moment to do it. The timing was completely off. She just probably didn't think about it, I was just thinking about that auntie. Nah. Yeah, no. She probably just wasn't thinking too much of it. She wanted to make an announcement. She felt like saying happy birthday. She's truthfully crying her balls out in the last 4. We believe all of that, right? But she was just like, it was like an impulsive decision that she probably made. She probably thought about it, but she didn't think about it with some emotional intelligence. That aspect of it's not posting it that day. See, we can say that looking hindsight. But if you're in that position where you want to make a decision like that, being able to think ahead of impact that it could make on other people emotionally is emotional intelligence. It's not really a common sense thing. It takes experience and intentionally learning this stuff to figure that out over time. Hopefully she learned from it. Last but not least, she need to stop all the shalaye. It's not going to work.
Explain because no evidence.
Shalaye will end you up in manipulative zone. You're just basically trying to manipulate us now. Okay? And the truth is undefeated. You don't have to say it. We can see through it. That's the reality about truth. The truth is undefeated. It doesn't need anybody's help. We can all see through it. All right. So hopefully we'll learn 1 or 2 things from that. Hit like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. We have the main story. Let's get to the main story. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I saw your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.